guys, it's Ben Zinn with NextLevelGuitar.com, and today we have another one of our Inspired By lessons for you. We're going to take a look at some classic 70s British rock and how to transfer some of our ideas through a chord progression that moves keys. So let's check it out. Hey you guys, before we continue, I want you guys to take a look at the text box below. Click on that link down there. What we're going to do for you is send you a free video lesson. It's not available on YouTube, and a corresponding ebook. A lot of great stuff that you guys can learn from that, so check that out. That's from NextLevelGuitar.com. Alright, for our example today, we're playing over a 4-chord vamp. So let's take you through what the chords are so we have some perspective on some of the scales we're going to be using. I'm playing an A7 to a D minor. And I'm playing it with a sort of playful boom chick sort of rhythm, something like this. Then I take the same thing and I move it down a whole step. So we're playing G7 to C minor. G7, C minor. And we take that rhythm pattern all the way through the progression. And repeat. Now, why is our chord progression important here? How come we don't just learn the scale and go nuts? Well, that's a good question, because our chord progression today, in this instance, takes us through a couple of different keys. And so sometimes you'll have a vamp or a chord progression that's going to suggest that you move your ideas along with the chords. And that's what we're going to do today. Our first half of our progression suggests a certain scale, A7 to D minor. It suggests a couple of different things, but what we're going to talk about is a harmonic minor scale. So let me take you through that position in the key of D, starting from 5th fret, 5th string. So that scale is going to be applicable to when we are on the A7 to D minor portion of the progression. What happens when we switch to the other half of the progression? That scale is no longer going to sound good against those chords. So we'll want to move with the chords. Basically, we're just moving the same concept down a whole step. We're transposing our scale down a whole step. So for the second half, we'll be playing a C harmonic minor, which will start on the 3rd fret, and it works out the same. Now what we're going to take a look at today is some ideas that we can play using these scales and being able to move through the key changes, taking our ideas and transposing them down through the different scale positions. So before we jump into the examples, let's talk a little bit about the sound. The particular artists that we're inspired by today had a really unique guitar tone, and to approximate this is a really nice solution. We're going to play with pretty high gain sound, so get it nice and creamy. And the one key characteristic that I like to use when I'm playing in this style is what I call a parked wah. That's where you take your wah pedal, you set it to a certain position, and you just leave it there. We don't wah it up and down like we usually might if we're playing with our wah pedal. We're just going to set it somewhere around halfway down and just leave it in place. It gives it a nice sort of mid-rangey, some people call it a throaty sound. So we'll take you through that. You can hear if I bring the wah back, has that sort of sound, or all the way forward. really nasally, really bright sound. So somewhere in the middle there is where we're going to want to set our wah pedal.
Should we shave our mantelpiece down into a form of a guitar as well?
Yes, we should. You should burn down your house. You should take the remaining wood and you should fashion it into a guitar. And it will be the most luxurious sound you'll ever create. Alright, so let's check out some ideas that we can move from position to position out of our two different scales. The first one is going to start out, we'll break this down into two halves here. Here's the first half. Okay, so what we're doing there, we're in our D harmonic minor scale, and I'm going to bend the 8th fret up a whole step on the 2nd string. Now what follows is a whole bunch of hammer-ons, pull-offs, and slides here. So I'm going to release off of my bend, pull off, slide, hammer-on, pull off, and resolve to 7. So that's the first half. The second half is based on a concept that we see sometimes in our practicing called sequencing. I'm basically starting at the top of my scale position, playing that note, going up a note, going back 2 notes, going up a note, back 2 notes, up a note, back 2, up a note, back 2. What's cool about that is that's a concept that you can use to build your own riffs. That idea of sequencing through a scale pattern is what I like to call a riff builder. You can see we're doing something that's based on a pattern and it works well for a phrase, for a lead. So our whole example now put together with both halves. Now that's going to be played over our A7 to D minor portion of our progression. When we get to the back half, just take what you just learned and move everything down. In essence, we're just playing that in the other scale position. So here's the exact same concept played down a whole step in our other scale position. Starting on the 6th fret now. Second half. Full speed. So we're playing the same riff just in 2 different scale positions. All together now. Once we have that idea of moving across and changing with our chords, we can start building other riffs based on that concept. For example, playing over A7 to D minor. So that riff, and we just move that down one whole step. Concept. Basically, we just want to make sure that we're playing to the chord changes. After a while, once we have some examples down, we can really start improvising and just jamming through those scales as we move through the progression. harmonics minor scale transpose through 2 different steps there to help inform and kind of outline our chord progressions. So once again, thanks so much for joining us today. Make sure that you visit our website, nextlevelguitar.com. We have over 1,000 different video lessons there for players of all styles, skill levels, ton of great stuff there. So make sure to visit us there, and we'll see you back here next time. Thanks so much.